Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to the Gentle Mastery Podcast. I'm your host, Dave Hime, creator of the Gentle Mastery Method, the Consciousness Signature, and Legacy Activation. Today, we're on the final stage of the Legacy Activation Resource Guide, which, if you have not yet downloaded it, is a very simple download. Just go to the show description, click on the link, and get your download. What we've done over the last several weeks is dove deeper into each of the stages of legacy activation, each of the 7 stages. So today, just like I've been doing, what I'll be doing is reading directly from the resource guide about stage 7 and providing my own thoughts, insights, and experiences to share with you regarding my own process in that stage. Because this legacy activation work came directly from my own shifting of my life from being someone who was trapped in his own beliefs around what success should look like to someone who is free to live the life that I'm meant to live. And that's what stage 7 is all about. It's about becoming very aware of and clear regarding your consciousness, your specific energies, and what you're specifically here to do. I now want to mention each of the 6 stages leading up to the current stage, just as a review. Stage 1 is if you're questioning the definition of success. And we have podcasts on each of these different stages. This questioning stage is extremely valuable. There's so much power in being inside of your own questions about the things that you have chosen to believe, the things that you've been taught about success, and whether or not that's worked for you. Stage 2, if you're ready to take ownership of your inner world. So this is a natural second stage in order to help you begin to see your life as something that you have more control over than you perhaps ever thought that you did. Stage 3 is if you're searching for meaning, and meaning is a key component to activating your legacy. We are all here for some reason that's bigger than ourselves, and in the meaning stage, we're looking at what that reason is. Is it about purpose? Is it about belonging? Is it about telling your story or telling the story of your people? Or is it about something that is transcendent? Then stage 4, if you're embracing myth, magic, and metaphor, because your life is large. Your life, as it is meant to be lived, is mythological. It is magic. It is full of metaphor. Stage 5 is if you're trying to turn inner work into real life change. This is the stage where after you have done so much studying, taken courses, read books, listened to podcasts, but you're still not seeing any real life change, the resources in this stage are the ones you need in order to start living your life from the place of your true self. Then stage 6, if you're rethinking wealth, power, and purpose. So you will definitely want to go back and listen to that podcast if you haven't already, because it is for both those of you who have created wealth as the measure of success in your 3D reality, and it's also for those of you who are still struggling to find that success metric for yourself in 3D. It is a 5D reality challenge, and I dive very deeply into how to manifest whatever it is you want. Now, next week's podcast is going to be only about manifestation, but last week's podcast, Stage 6, which I believe is actually called The Truth About Money. So the truth about money, very important for you to know if you're looking to live a life of legacy. This leads us up to our final stage, which is Stage 7. If you're ready to explore your conscious energies. So my work is about helping you step into and embody something bigger than you've ever experienced before. And that is the true version of who you are. The energetics of who you are. Because there is where your power lies. There is where you are going to be able to make a big change in this world that the world needs you to step into, this conscious energy that is you and that can make a change. So now I'll read from the guide. You've spent a lifetime becoming who you were supposed to be, playing roles, meeting expectations, building an identity that made sense to the world. But underneath all of that, there's always been a deeper current, a quiet knowing that there's more to you than this. If this speaks to your heart, this is for you. You have tried everything that you've been told to try for success, for how you are meant to live your life. And for some of you, that has worked out beautifully for you. For others of you, myself included, it didn't work because your energies were not aligned with how you were taught success would happen. Either way, what the guide says is, you're no longer willing to contort yourself to fit into systems or roles that don't reflect your truth. So even if you have had the 3D reality success of a lot of money in your bank account, or whatever success looks like for you, it still hasn't felt like it has fit who you are. You want to live in a way that feels whole, where your thoughts, words, energy, and choices are all coming from the same place, your soul. You're beginning to feel a pull toward alignment, not as a buzzword, but as a lived experience. You want to feel like your life is an honest expression of who you are, not a performance you've mastered to stay safe, successful, or liked. We're once again now talking about moving from the 4 lower levels of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which are all about safety, security, and moving into this highest level, the level of self-actualization, the level of the version of you that you were born to become. This is stage 7. You might be saying things like, I'm done performing. I want to feel real. I know I have something unique to offer, but I don't know how to bring it forward. I'm tired of editing myself. I want to live fully turned on and turned toward what's true. I don't want to just be good at what I do. I want to feel like me. You also may be noticing you feel disconnected from your current work, identity, or community, but deeply connected to something new that's still forming. You crave more freedom in how you spend your time, use your voice, and relate to others. Your body gives you clearer signals when something is aligned and when it's not. You're feeling called to honor your intuitive, creative, or spiritual sides in ways you've previously hidden or dismissed. This is all 5D work. When you feel these callings, when you understand what your body's communicating to you, what your emotions are communicating to you, what your mind is trying to tell you, and you're able to be in conversation with those aspects of yourself from a higher place, from a place where your soul is speaking to those aspects of yourself, then you're in the bridge. This is what your conscious energies provide for you, is a bridge from the 3D to the 5D. The 5D is where anything can happen. It's where your legacy will be activated. This is the phase where clarity begins to replace confusion. Not because you've figured everything out, but because you're finally listening to yourself. You're starting to understand your energy, your gifts, and your natural rhythm. And with that understanding comes the courage to live differently. Living your design doesn't mean becoming someone new. It means unlayering everything you're not so your most genuine self can emerge. You're not here to fit into a life. You're here to create one that mirrors your essence. And this is what we're talking about when we talk about your consciousness signature, your conscious energies. I have resources for you so that you can explore this further. I'm always here for you to help you explore any of these stages further. And in fact, I'm going to do something that I've never done before. I'm going to include in the show description a link that you can use to set up a 30-minute conversation with me where we can talk about where you are in your legacy activation journey. Which of these 7 stages do you feel you are in, and what do you need in order to continue to move forward? Let's have that conversation, because I am here to support you in activating who it is you are meant to be and what it is you are meant to bring to the world. Here are your resources for this stage. The first one is a Gentle Mastery video that you'll find on the Gentle Mastery YouTube channel. It's called You Did Everything Right But Still Feel Incomplete. And there's a link to this directly in the resource guide when you download it. In this episode of the Gentle Mastery podcast, I reveal why so many high achievers feel like they're living someone else's life and what to do about it. You'll learn about your consciousness signature, a powerful, precise, energetic blueprint that shows you who you're here to be to live a life of true meaning and legacy. This is everything you need. In this video, I share the origin of this concept, how it integrates wisdom from Maslow's hierarchy of needs, human design, David Hawkins' map of consciousness, and the gene keys, and how it has helped clients shift from unfulfilling success to a deeply embodied purpose, which is what you're here for. If you've ever felt the urge to just burn it all down or walk away from the life you built, this podcast episode that is linked in the resource guide offers a wiser, gentler path forward. Your discontent isn't dysfunction. It's direction. And this resource will give you so much clarity about that direction. The next resource is a little but very powerful book by Wayne Dyer. It's called Wishes Fulfilled. Here's what I wrote in the resource guide about it. This short but powerful read reminded me that our desires are divine. You've heard this from me before. You heard this from me at the very least in the last podcast where I talked about money, and that you have your desires for a reason, and you are meant to experience those desires, because that is what's going to bring the world your gifts. With Wishes Fulfilled, I began to treat my longings not as liabilities, but as instructions. So the gift of this book, the gift of Wishes Fulfilled, is that you can accept and start to move forward in your life with the things that you most desire. Our last resource here is another book. It's called The Seat of the Soul. It's by a man named Gary Zukav. This is an initiation to the power of intention. This book helped me feel the soul behind my choices. The Seat of the Soul is a book all about the power of intention, all about the reason why we came to our existence with a soul. The way that the intention that we give behind the attention we provide to our lives in the world is what drives us forward. Choose your intentions wisely. Give your attention to those things that are going to make a difference, help you get closer to those things that you desire in your life, and you will begin to manifest them. These aren't just resources, they're invitations. They marked the path I walked from success to sovereignty, from outward achievement to inner alignment. If you're walking that path, I am here with you. I want to invite you again. Visit this link in the show description. Give it a click. Get on my calendar. Let's discuss the resource guide and where you are in it. Let's talk about what is in the way of you having everything you want in your life. And let's see how we can bridge that gap together. Thank you once again for joining me on the Gentle Mastery Podcast. Until next week, peace.